So welcome back to our kind of experience talks that we've been doing with some of our third year students as they've returned from placements, studies abroad, and whatever experience they've kind of explored during their second and their third year. So you've met me before. I'm Charlie. I'm the Geography and Natural Hazards course director. And today we've got another of our Geography and Natural Hazards students with us, and who is Damon. And Damon completed something a little bit different. He did a placement, but he did it abroad. So Damon, do you want to introduce yourself and introduce, what you did and things like that?
Yep. So hi, I'm Damon. I am a final year student completing a degree in Geography and Natural Hazards. And my placement year was spent working as a geospatial analyst for the company of NEO in the Netherlands.
So what city did you live in? Tell us, it's all exciting.
So I worked in the city of Amersfoort. It's a small city in the province of Utrecht. And it was a very nice, I don't want to say small because it was a very large city, but when you get into the center, it's very small and cute. It was a very nice place to be in.
Yeah, I would agree with that, Damon. I've had the opportunity to actually visit and go out on a placement visit to go and see one of our students in a previous year. And yeah, I would say it was a very cute town.
It's small, it's large but small. It's really weird.
Yeah. And it's such a pretty town as well. I kind of went, and it was a quick trip for me, and it was like 24 hours there, but I just got there, didn't know what I was expecting, and then I was like, wow, this is so pretty.
Yeah.
So tell us about your placement year then. What did you do? What jobs and tasks were you doing while you were out there?
Okay, so as a geospatial analyst, we worked on a variety of different projects. So what we did was we took information from satellite imagery, and we used the satellite imagery to get information, and then used that information to inform clients on a variety of different things. So say for instance, there were a variety, there's thousands of solar fields in the solar panel fields in the Netherlands. One of my projects was to mark each one of these out and to feed it into a computer algorithm. And basically the computer algorithm used this information to take these like crops of solar panels to basically develop a program that picks out each solar panel on a rooftop in the Netherlands and says, oh, well, that's a solar panel. And we're basically working out the amount of solar energy that's produced in the Netherlands. So that's that can be used for all sorts of the different municipalities around the Netherlands.
Wow. So it sounds like a massive project, and obviously you were only there for a year then. Do you think that you managed to kind of build your skills? How did what you'd done already at Coventry in your first and your second years, how did that help you with your placement?
So originally at Coventry, I worked on a variety of different projects, like looking at NDVI and economic development in a chosen location in the UK. And from there, I wanted to see how GIS played a part in, using GIS professionally. I wanted to see how it could be used to solve problems in the real world, and providing solutions to different clients. It's a completely different experience because just working in a company is just an entirely different experience altogether. It's bizarre.
I suppose though another added complexity for you was the fact you were living abroad as well. So how was it with living abroad in a different country?
So originally, to begin, I was really nervous because usually when you go to another country, it's for like a week or so, and it's like a mini adventure. But when I was going, obviously I'm going for a year, so you've got to get into that mindset of you're not really like going to the shop to buy sandals to go for the beach and stay there for a week. You're living there for a year, and it's an entirely different experience altogether. So obviously for the first few weeks I was a bit nervous, but I took my time to get familiar with the environment and like look around the city and familiarize myself. But the company and the people around there just it made me feel well, super like welcome, and I felt at home instantly. It was amazing.
I suppose one question then that's perhaps going through people's minds, and this was what went through my mind when I went over and visited before, is do you need to speak Dutch, or was it an English speaking company?
Well, most of the Dutch people say that obviously they learn Dutch, but they would recommend you just speaking English rather than learning Dutch, because barely anyone speaks that language. But whilst I was there, I decided to work on like Duolingo and try and develop like to learn a bit of Dutch. So if I was going into like a sandwich shop, for instance, and I wanted to order something, I didn't want to say it in English. I wanted to try and order it in Dutch. So that was fun. But for people that are concerned about language barriers and things like that, I don't think that's an issue. I feel like people will have a good understanding of English, and it's not something you need to be concerned about.
Good. I'm going to be honest. I say this with all of them, but I just feel a little bit jealous of all of these international experiences that obviously our students go out and have. And what would you say is your kind of the best of your experience that you could take home? Anything kind of from yourselves, maybe developing personally from your experience?
I feel like when I first went to the Netherlands, I was I said I was nervous, and you don't really want to throw yourself into things at first, but once I decided that I was just going to throw myself into as many different events and things as possible, and just fully immerse myself in the culture, because it was just a once in a lifetime experience. You've got to take those kind of opportunities and just utilize them. So for me, being able to tell myself, oh yeah, this may look a bit scary, doing this and that, but you are going to enjoy it once you get over that level of fear. You can immerse yourself in another country's culture, and that is it's such a rewarding experience once you get over that like hurdle of fear. So that was something for me.
And coming back to England, shall we say, rather than Coventry, because obviously at the moment we're all working and living mostly at home. How do you think your experience of your placement year has helped you coming back into your final year?
So my my dissertation in my final year is actually based on GIS. So with that placement year, I've actually taken a lot of professional skills that I've learned over there and applied them to my final dissertation project. So that's been really, really helpful for me.
And can you tell us about that? What have you decided to do for your dissertation topic?
So for my dissertation, I'm basically looking at how GIS plays a role in monitoring flood risk in the county of West Yorkshire. So for that project, I've basically been doing things like taking NDVI analyses and vegetation, land use, underlying geology, and looking at all these different factors and placing them onto a map and producing this kind of map style that informs people the different areas of West Yorkshire that are ranked highest risk of flooding all the way down to the very lowest. So just looking and presenting it in that professional way. So taking all that stuff that I've learned on the placement has been really helpful for that kind of stuff.
Brilliant. That sounds really, really interesting. I suppose then my final thing is, what if you could summarize your year looking back now? We're nearly a year since you were over there, obviously. Looking back on it now, what would you say? What would you reflect on in years to come about your experience?
My God, it's such a difficult question,
A
because
loaded question.
yeah, because really there was so much that I did there, so many experiences. I mean, I made friends easily, and went to all sorts of different things. Like I went to a student association party in Amsterdam, meeting up with loads of random Dutch people. And then I also went to an escape room experience with colleagues from my company. It was there's so many different experiences that you get when you go on a placement, so it's hard to pick out individual ones, but it yeah, there's so much to take from it, and I'm never gonna forget it. It was such a great experience. In fact, it's it's really put me in a difficult position for my final year, because I don't know if when I've graduated if I want to go back to the Netherlands now or stay in the UK. So yeah, it's a very difficult very difficult decision to make.
So it's
Yeah,
giving you that want and motivation to look for
exactly.
more
Yeah,
experiences.
yeah.
So we might see that you're traveling around the world in a couple of years' time.
Oh yeah,
rather
absolutely.
than...
Yeah. In fact, I've literally talked about it so much that my brothers thought, oh, maybe I might get a job in the Netherlands. It sounds really nice over there.
Well, I think that's a recommendation enough, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, that's been really, really interesting. And thank you so much, Damon, for coming and telling us about your experiences, and telling us obviously kind of what you've taken from it. Because obviously we've known each other now for nearly 4 years.
Yes.
And you can just see how you're more confident as a person, which is great. And obviously
Yeah.
having the experience of the Netherlands and different culture, and obviously within the scope of your placement and your degree is wonderful. So thank you for spending the time today, for coming and having a chat. And then hopefully, obviously, this will inspire some more students to maybe experience different placement years, or more unusual placement years.
Not a problem. Thank you very much.
Thank you.